And when you hear that, you know it's time for Geek Corner with the master Logan Lee for free. That's your job.
I'm happy to do it.
I get money. I'll tell people when I get money, it'll be fine.
Great. Sign me up.
Hey, sports are happening now, so I'll get paid. Maybe I can check
that'd be
them out.
great. That'd be great. Finally got there. Hey, whatever it takes, man.
Sophomore team's 4-0 for basketball.
That's good.
We have 16 games between a few days ago to March 10th. It's crazy.
It's a lot, but at least you got it.
And it's crazy playing Naperville North, Central. You got to drive to DeKalb.
How long is that drive for you?
I think we're on like 40 minutes, actually. It's not.
Yeah.
Because Naperville's more west of the city, and the DeKalb is way more west.
Right.
And Neek was like 12, 15 minutes down the street.
# Illinois geography.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I know this. I'm already off topic. It's fine. It's whatever. But all these schools have like 5 basketball courts.
Yeah.
So to help with scheduling, you have freshman A and B going on the same time that we're playing the sophomore game. And then right when we're done, the varsity will come on and play.
Right.
But the rule is we can't stay there. We have to leave because you can't have people there watching. So it's strange. Unless it's home. If it's a home game, me and the other sophomore coach can stay. But the kids have to go. If it's an away game, the bus has to take us away.
Wow. There's a lot of rules.
No jump ball.
I knew that.
Makes no sense.
I knew that. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. But let's just be happy that you have sports.
Oh yeah, like we're so happy, but there's so much to nitpick from.
Oh, for sure. There's always going to be something to nitpick.
The biggest thing, which I'm sure your parents have maybe talked about before, was the overlap. That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
And smaller schools.
Yeah, especially at the smaller schools. It's gonna be a big deal, big issue.
I'm gonna be busy from now till June 19th.
Yeah. That's how my parents are. My dad's supposed to retire this summer, so this is how he's going to end his tenure at the high school, is going through this.
He was 1 year off. He should have done it a year. If he could have done it a year.
I know.
I'm
not sure that's the year he wanted to go out on either, but yikes. I don't envy any of you people.
Oh, I can't imagine being like your dad or an athletic director right now.
No. Doesn't sound fun to me.
No athletic directors right now? No.
Mm-mm.
But up here, though, that's a full-time job. They're an administrator.
Yeah.
So like at Oakwood and all them, you're a teacher and a athletic director. Up here, that's your job.
Yeah.
They'll give you $40,000, $50,000 and be like, this is your job.
Yeah, I should have done that. I thought about going that route at one point, but just kind of fell off. I still might.
You could. But we're being nice to athletic directors right now.
As you should.
They don't sleep.
As you should.
And the refs are 80 years old.
Be nice to everybody except Juwan Howard.
Except for Juwan Howard.
Anyway.
Wisconsin's beating them right now. I'm so happy.
Good.
Keyboard warriors. That's all that we matter.
You're calling yourself?
No, did you not see that?
Your new persona on Twitter?
No, we got called that by somebody.
Who did?
There was a coach that tweeted out when we were losing to Nebraska saying, all you keyboard warrior Illinois fans, I talked about Michigan. And he's an Illinois football coach too, so it didn't make any sense. And started talking. He's like, you can't handle Nebraska and you think you can handle Michigan.
I mean, I saw people. Yeah, okay.
So when we won, Brad retweeted him and just went off. Just went off.
I guess I did catch that.
Oh, the reason why I know is because he texted me and Nathan.
That's
so
funny.
Me and Nathan were like,
look that up.
I was like, I have a game tomorrow. I'm going to bed. I can't handle getting arguments. That's why I just put that GIF up of the guy going like this. I was like, that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then Nathan today was like, if Wisconsin wins, look out for your Twitter because it's going down.
Yeah.
Because they're soft.
That's good.
One Howard's soft.
Apparently.
Oh, and then me and Nathan got into it with somebody. This guy tweeted at me and called me bro, and that's when Nathan was like, okay, hold on a second. And he started coming after me, and then that's when I said, if you get subtweeted, does that mean you made it? Like, I was getting subtweeted left and right.
Yeah.
Because we said in the last show last week, we're going to bully Michigan on social media.
How'd that go for you?
It's working. There's certain Illinois Twitters that like it, and then all these other teams around the Big Ten are tweeting at them now, and it's funny. We started something. We were like, let's get this.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you for being a part of that movement.
The Muck Michigan will be back.
No, I don't know if it ever left.
And like what Nathan said, Ann Arbor's a whore. Those shirts, those classic shirts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that whole show was we're getting pretty good at the Illinois segment parts. It's the other stuff.
You'll get there.
Well, some people have said we listen to the BS because it's funny, and then once it's the sports, we kind of tune it out. And I'm like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Logan, I can't tell you how excited I am to talk Wandavision because the first couple episodes there was nothing, and I think you were my only person to talk to.
Yeah,
my only person, and social media.
Yeah. There's a lot to talk about.
And I did finish The Mandalorian since the last time we.
Oh, I forgot you hadn't watched that. Yeah, so you saw the big ending.
Yeah, so podcast can start. Spoilers for any entertainment stuff. We're not responsible for ruining your life.
Yeah, I can't believe that there are people out there, and I have one particular friend that I'm calling out who probably won't watch this, but people who say they are fans of the universe and the other movies, and they just haven't watched this show. Like, it blows my mind. Like, this is great. This is incredible stuff.
I wasn't going to that first season just because we talked last time. I went back and listened to the last show the other day. I was like, I gotta remember what we said. And I was listening to it and I was like, Star Wars, when that came out, I didn't have Disney Plus yet. I don't think. I can't remember. And I was worried because the new Star Wars movies ruined everything. But The Mandalorian is really good. So they did a good job. The second season, the only thing I didn't like was the egg eating when he was eating the eggs. I cringed. Yeah. I was like, Yoda is evil.
You didn't Yoda. That was what it was for you? That's what did it for you? The eggs?
What it was.
Okay.
Because I felt bad for that creature. I was like, oh, it's not going to have any babies. Thanks a lot, Yoda.
There were still some in there. He didn't eat them all.
No, you were right. It brought it right back to Skywalker saga with him.
Told you.
Now when I saw the ship, I was like, no, that's not Luke.
I didn't dislike it. I just felt like I was kind of enjoying the fact that this was separate, and we just keep bringing this back into it. And again, my other thing, and I don't remember if we talked about it or not, but either one of two things is happening with the third season. Either you're going to get a lot less of Grogu, or you're going to get more CGI Luke. And it's possible that that's not how it works, but in my mind, those are the two scenarios that comes with it. And I don't really like either of those options. So, the show is obviously about Mando. It's not about Grogu. So, that was just the big, cute factor to help sell merchandise. But, I don't know. We'll see. I trust it. The show's great. Mandalorian is fantastic television. And I'm not even a huge Star Wars person. I see all the movies and, I follow along, but that's not really totally my wheelhouse, but it's just a good show. Although and it's probably because of my, I'm not as big of a Star Wars person, but I didn't necessarily think of The Mandalorian as appointment television every single Friday, like I feel about WandaVision right now. And that's obviously because I'm more attached to that universe than I am Star Wars. But Both of them. I mean, Mandalorian was a great first 2 seasons. I assume they'll just keep building off of that. And I trust them. I mean, people can say what they want about the Disney sequel trilogy, and it wasn't great. I'm not going to defend it. They did a lot of things wrong, but they're still more than capable of producing good content. You see what they're doing with Marvel and with Pixar, and their last run of just Disney animated movies. I mean, they don't do duds. They don't mess up. Right now, they haven't messed up, and so I trust them to keep doing it. I think we'll get a little too much Star Wars content by the time it's over, but that's what they have to do with Disney Plus, though. I mean, they have to keep building their content and building their library, and they can't just rely on people going there to watch Lady and the Tramp. I mean, they have to keep putting stuff on there that's going to be exclusive for that and keep people coming. And clearly Star Wars and Marvel is what they're banking on, and those are their two moneymakers. So they'll keep doing it, and it'll work.
There was a big push for Sebastian Stan to play Luke as a lookalike. So if they wanted to bring him back, then Mark Hamill doesn't have to be there. This is tough.
I don't know.
The Mandalorian is in a weird timeline because it's supposed to feed into The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to not be a part of that Jedi Skywalker thing.
Right.
But maybe this is their way of sending it off because Luke showed up, took Grogu, and is gone. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that'll happen. The thing that I had seen and I was kind of thinking about was, we know, according to the sequel trilogy, what Kylo Ren does to the young Jedi apprentices.
Yep.
So people are assuming that Grogu was one of those. Did Kylo kill Grogu? But I mean, a lot of things can happen in the 20 or 30 years we're talking between those two events happening. So who knows? There's plenty of things they can do, and they'll touch on all of it. They have all the time in the world and all the money in the world.
Just more Bill Burr. I need more Bill Burr in my life.
He was great. He a lot of the actors they brought in to play a character, whether it be one or a couple episodes. I mean, there was obviously the Gina Carano stuff. We don't have to touch on that, but Bill Burr was great. I loved his character. I love what he did. I would take more of that for sure. Yeah.
Now I just want to know how Boba Fett survived. I was waiting for that when I saw it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've got to explain to me how he lived.
We'll get it. We'll get an explanation.
Well, I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be then.
Yeah. You're going to get a whole show about it.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what they do. That's what they do. If there's any sort of plot hole or any sort of how did this happen, they make a whole movie about it or a whole TV show about it. That's how Rogue One came about. Rogue One just basically took a tiny little plot hole in the original trilogy and turned it into a 2-hour war movie in space that made millions of dollars and had a lot of success. So whatever they got to do, it works.
I like how we found another Jedi from all the video games. She's always been that random Jedi.
Yep.
I did like that.
And I thought she was going to be, at the end, I thought that was going to be her coming to take him. But no, we're going to get plenty more of her too. She's going to get her own show, I think. So
the only one
everybody gets a show.
Yeah, everybody gets a show. Marvel's going to go that way. Well, let me phrase that. Star Wars is going that way because of Marvel. Well, no, Mandalorian was out first, right?
Yeah.
But Marvel already had it planned, right?
Probably. They've had everything planned.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. The only one I'm looking forward to is Obi-Wan Kenobi because that's a huge plot hole that they need to fix.
You'll watch all of them Don't act like you won't.
I'm saying as of right now, the ones that I know, I'm like, okay, that one I'm excited for. The
Because you
rest,
know that character.
right? Look, I've been prepared for this. When you said let's do this, I've been talking to myself.
Okay, great.
When I had my 2 interventions here,
Okay.
I'm hard to watch a new thing if I have no connection to the actor. So if
Sure.
I don't know anybody, it's hard for me to watch a show.
Sure.
So, like Blacklist, for example, I just remembered the name James Spader. So I
Yeah.
was like, let's look at this. The only reason why I looked at Stranger Things was because I remembered David Harbour's name. Like, if I don't have any regulation of an actor, I don't know. And I think that's why Mandalorian, when it first came out, I didn't watch it at first. I had no actor, nothing connected. But then, like you said, it's Star Wars. So I was like, well, let me look. So that's who I am. Like, I don't watch things unless I know who it is. If I don't know who it is, I don't care.
Sure. I mean, I get it. I'm the same way. I'm like that with movies and TV shows. I understand where you're coming from.
So these Star Wars movies, if I don't know who's playing in them, part of me might be like, I don't know. Or like you said, I'm not going to, every Friday, I'm not going to tune in. That's what this Mandalorian Season 2, I didn't have to watch it. I was like, oh, I can wait. WandaVision, I can't. Like, we get done with school early, then I wait to see if I have a meeting. And in between that time, I rush home and turn on WandaVision.
The next 3 episodes are going to be an hour long, so you're going to have to make sure you have some more time in your day.
I saw someone put that picture up and I just shared it out last night. I was like, I'm here for it. This is...
Yeah, it's been, I mean, that's one of the nice things about my working remotely is I just get up early on Friday and put it on before I start my day. So I don't have to worry about, I didn't even get on Twitter or anything before. So, because there are so many things out there, so many people that just like to ruin stuff. And that way I don't have to worry about it. I get up, I don't even pick up my phone. I literally just hit play. And then at that point I can get on the internet and see what people are talking about. And I don't have to worry about it anymore.
No, I don't have time to do it in the morning. Yeah. So I'm like, I have to wait till the afternoon.
I don't like the release strategy they're doing. I don't. They did it with Mandalorian, and they've done it now with this show, and I don't really know what the solution is, but I don't like releasing it at whatever they're doing, midnight or whatever time it is, 2 a.m. I just think that just sets it up for people to have things spoiled for them. And I wish they would do something different. I wish they would put it out at a different time that's more accessible to people. I mean, I get it. I mean, if you can't watch it, you can't watch it. You can watch it whenever you want. That's kind of the point of it. But when it's something like this that you know immediately everybody's going to be talking about it, I think it'd be better if they set it at a time that, you know, a majority of people can actually watch it. Like, as opposed to it going up overnight and the diehards watching it when it goes up, and then some people able to watch it in the morning, and then the rest of the world not able to watch it till later that night. By the time you get home on your Friday night at 10 o'clock and to sit down to finally watch it, if you've been on any sort of social media all day long, you've already seen everything. So I just wish they would do that a little differently. Some people I've heard on different shows talk about comparing it to like Game of Thrones, how like Game of Thrones, when that was big appointment television, it would be uploaded at, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever it was, every Sunday night. And that's great. You can kind of use that model, but at the same time, that started because HBO was a cable. It was cable before it was internet. So, that's when it was on. That's when it aired. That's not necessarily how this works, but I think they need to have a different model than just putting it up in the middle of the night and some people having to go all day long before they can see it. And they've probably had it all ruined on Twitter.
Yeah, it needs to be released, all of them, like Stranger Things. Or
I don't know that they necessarily need to do that. I say I don't like it, but I do like it. I do like the once a week strategy because it keeps people talking about it. If they do it like Stranger Things, where they put it up on a Friday Everybody watches it that weekend. Sure, for the next week, that's what everybody's talking about. But once that week's over, it's done. They're on to something else. With this, you're talking about it every single week for 9 straight weeks. That's the center point of the conversation for the better part of 2+ months. I kind of like that idea. I think it works for them, but as I said, I think they need to find a different approach as to like when to actually drop it.
Yeah, like Friday at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
or go whatever time and say this is what time it comes out.
and I understand the argument that when they release it like they do, then anybody can watch it on their time. But as I you're just ruining it, I think, for people that don't want to have it spoiled, that have to then stay off of whatever their social media of choices or whatever for the better part of the entire day. And for some people that might be easier than others, but I just think they should do something different about it.
Nope, I agree, because I could stay up and watch it, but that'll kill me. Or I get up early, but I already get up early enough.
No, I mean, for you and a lot of people, that's the only option, is to just watch it that night. So
I'll just watch it at school. Screw it.
Yeah.
Steve, what are you looking at? Don't worry about what I'm doing. There's only 4 kids in a class anyway. I'll just sit in the back.
They can watch it too.
Oh, I'm sure they could.
I'm pulling up. They would. Whatever.
So I guess we can move on from the Star Wars thing. I don't know. Like last time we talked, I love the Jedi thing. I love all that. That's what draws me in. But it has to be sprinkled in.
Right.
If you're not going to do the full on Jedi, it has to be sprinkled in like the Mandalorian just did.
Yeah. No, they're just gonna go full on, dump it all on you, and people will watch it. Don't try to act like you won't.
I mean,
if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll watch all of it.
But I don't think I'll have to plan it out like Marvel and be like, I have to watch it on Friday. If I don't watch it on Friday,
that could be.
I think that's what it will happen. Is if they release it every Friday, I'm not going to set a time and be like, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
And I think another reason why I think Marvel we're all so tuned in is because it's leading into the movies. So it's like we kind of need to know what's about to happen.
You don't have to watch The Mandalorian in order to know what is going to happen in the next Star Wars movie. Yeah, they're all interconnected, but The Mandalorian is a series. It is just a series about this one character that really has very little to do with the rest of the Star Wars universe. Wandavision is basically it's a movie that they're breaking up into 30 to an hour long pieces that you have to watch if you're trying to keep up with what they're doing and the rest of it. I mean, it has to be. It's appointment television for people that really care about that series and care about those characters in those movies. It is different. It is different for sure than The Mandalorian.
And probably because of how Infinity War and Endgame were so huge, I think that's another reason why Star Wars is still huge, because of its name.
Well, and the other thing too is we haven't had anything Marvel for the last year.
Right.
I mean, people that are big into these movies and it's been since Spider-Man Far From Home came out, summer of 2019. We haven't had anything from Marvel since then. And so I think that's obviously part of it too, is people are just looking for that. And I'm very pleased that the show has it's done that. It's filled that void for people, at least for me.
Well, and then how big Comic-Con was before COVID, how huge that was, all the stuff. We were supposed to have all the stuff by now. Like, you and I have to do a podcast every other day with all the stuff that should have been out by now. Like, I think that's another reason why, and we're all a little crazy because of how exciting it was. So Star Wars wants to do that. Like you said, Disney wants to do that for Star Wars because they bought it. They spent billions of dollars. They have to do something. Star Wars, they want to do that. That's fine. But I trust them. They'll do something good. I just don't know if it'll be like, I have to watch it now.
No,
Like,
and we'll see.
like WandaVision, I need to watch it right now. I want to know. Like, I need
Yeah.
to know, where is John Krasinski?
I mean, because it's a hold on. It's, as I said, it's a different type of show than what The Mandalorian was. The Mandalorian is a serial based show. Each episode, they're obviously all connected, but the episodes clearly have a beginning. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the episode ends, and then we move on. With WandaVision, it is just one giant story that we're only getting 30 to 40 minutes at a time. So you have to be tuned in.
They did the WandaVision, they did the same thing as Stranger Things. Stranger Things, they came out straight up and said that first season, they filmed it like a movie. And that's why the end of each episode into the next literally picks up where that one left off, because it was just a movie they just split up.
Right.
Like Walking Dead, when that episode ends, the next episode doesn't necessarily pick up all the time where it left off.
Right.
It did when they brought in Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It kind of did. Even then, it kind of didn't. Like the cliffhanger it left us with when Jeffrey Dean Morgan showed up bothered me for 6 months, because you had to know. Because he killed somebody, and how they showed it was the camera just on him, and he's talking to the camera, and he does the eeny, meeny, miny, mo with his bat, and then he just beats the guy. But you don't see it. The next episode, that's 6 months later, it doesn't even pick up where it left off. It shows you something in the future. And you have to wait 20 minutes to find out.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is like, nope, we're going to know right then and there. WandaVision is kind of pulling back the curtain, but it's still just picking up where it left off.
Right.
Because you and I haven't talked about it on the podcast since the first two. Then we've just texted or Twitter back and forth.
Lots happened.
Third episode, they started to lose me. I started to get irritated. I'm starting to get irritated how slow it's taking. But that's because I'm impatient.
Right.
Because I think I'm used to Marvel movies, where by now we would have found out.
Yeah.
I think they said this is the most expensive thing they've done, because it's like GI stuff. I think it says the most expensive they've done. I think because of how long. What is it going to be, 6 hours total?
Yeah, that could be. That makes sense. That is a long time.
So they said this is the most expensive GI stuff they've had to do. And it's the most popular show today, I think they said. I think it's the most watched one. I'm trying to remember. A lot's happened. There's a lot of theories, and it just never stops.
Right. I think with this show, episode 4 was the important episode for people. That came at the right time, because the first 3 episodes, you just kind of, you weren't really sure what was going on. But then once they gave us that episode 4, which was all exposition stuff, we hardly saw Wanda at all. I mean, that was us, meeting the characters that were outside of the bubble, with Monica Rambeau and, that whole thing. That's where we learned all that stuff. And once that episode hit, I think that's where things started to shift for people. I mean, they were obviously watching the first 3, but it was just moving so slow, and it was just weird, and nobody really knew what was going on. And but then once we got that episode, everything really changed.
Was episode 3 the twins being born?
Yes.
And that's when she threw
Monica
Rambeau
out.
Yeah, okay.
And then episode 4 was when it was all about Monica, and we got the clip of her, at Sword headquarters, and that whole thing, and then going to meet up with Jimmy, and
he's my favorite.
He's great.
He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I said, when an episode happens, I go Google right away, and I just research what I can, because they are pulling from comic book stuff more than they have, I think, before. And I don't know if that's true, but
they've always they've been pretty consistent about it. They're not like, they've never pulled directly from like one particular story. They use a lot of different stories from the comics. That's what this is. I mean, this is a combination, and I'm not a comic book person, but from what I understand, they're pulling from a few different storylines.
Yeah, I've only read a little bit of the Walking Dead comics, but I can't keep up with them. They're so different than the TV show.
Yeah.
The Marvel ones, I looked at it like 2 years ago. I was like, maybe I need to look at these Marvel comics. There's too many. There's too many. So I have to research it and be like, okay, what's this? What's this? Where was I going with this? I don't remember. Never mind. Don't listen to me. No, I have to look at it. The theories way back when was it's just Wanda. Wanda's the villain. And then each episode they prove it, and then near the end it proves something else.
Yeah, I don't know that it's totally Wanda. I think somebody else is calling the shots. I still think it's Mephisto.
Well, the new theory is it's a villain called Nightmare. It's a Doctor Strange villain because Nightmare feed. Because I had to research it. When Wanda said, "I don't know," I just remember being alone and scared. And so then they said, "Well, Nightmare feeds on stuff like that, and it's supposed to be a Doctor Strange villain."
Right.
So they said it could be that because it's supposed to go into Doctor Strange.
Yes. I do think Nightmare's supposed to be the villain in Multiverse of Madness. I was watching one of the theory videos. I think it was New Rockstars. They pointed out that while it could be Nightmare, he feeds mostly off of people when they're sleeping. And I'm not sure that anybody's asleep here. So that's where, because Wanda's clearly not asleep because she left the hex. She went outside of it. So it could be, but that was the theory that they were talking about that as a possibility, but they also pointed out that nobody's really asleep. So We're not really sure if Nightmare really fits. But it certainly could be. I think it's definitely either him or Mephisto. What I was watching earlier talked about the fact that I think Pietro has something to do with. Well, I think we're going to learn a little bit more about him very soon. I don't think he's who he says he is, which would probably explain why they have a different actor. I think we're going to get into some of that. I think there's more to him than what we've seen, which makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't know. When she said I didn't do this, I didn't believe her. Because, they're getting Vision and her and arguing, and every time something happens, something stops them. But she said I didn't do this.
Yeah.
But then the more episode 6 went on, I was like, oh, maybe she didn't, because she's still like questioning it.
Yeah.
And so maybe that is because maybe that is.
I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who's running this show.
How do you say Mephisto? I can't say it.
Mephisto. Yeah, I think he's.
That might be him because
candidate.
They said, did you see the horns and the hair? Like when he stood a certain way, they were like, it could be him.
Yeah.
I did like how it said your dead husband can't die twice. I'm like,
yep.
Oh, shoot.
Did you catch the Kick-Ass reference?
I did.
Did you see Kick-Ass?
I did, and I was like, when she said that, it all clicked. Like live time, I was like, oh,
I had forgotten Evan Peters was in that. I knew Aaron Taylor Johnson was Kick-Ass. I'd forgotten about Evan Peters though until I saw that later. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's good.
But I don't know. I think somebody else does it to Wanda, but then you question it when Wanda can move the hex. That's where you're kind of like, well, wait a minute. Who is really... And that's... Okay, everybody listening. I have a Benedict Cumberbatch problem.
Here we go.
Well, I have to announce it. So Logan told me to be quiet one day because I was like, okay. So I had an intervention with myself. I think it's because I feel so proud of my guesses that I just want them to be right. I think. Like, I'm very proud of that title I came up with. The Doctor Will See You Now, like the last episode. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud. Or when we talked about it, like, he shows up and says, Wanda, what have you done? Like, I'm just waiting for that. So I'm so proud of it that I just keep wanting it to be real, so I just keep talking about it. But I had an intervention with myself. I was like, Steve, there's other things that could pop up. We all know Doctor Strange is going to happen. We want to see other people pop up. Is it X-Men? Is it, Johnny? Is he going to show up? Is it some other person? Does Captain America pop in? I don't know. Could somebody else just pop up that we don't know? He's not going to, but like, could somebody just...
I think we're going to get some sort of big reveal towards the end of this show. I don't think Doctor Strange would be a big reveal.
No, I agree. I came to the realization he'll be referenced.
That's the most obvious thing. He very well may show up. It's definitely, he's probably got the best odds to actually show up in this show of any of the major characters that we've seen. Simply because of who he is and what he does, and the fact that we know that him and Wanda are going to be in a movie together next year. So that makes the most amount of sense. I just don't think if they are going to have this Luke Skywalker level appearance or cameo that we've heard, that's not it. Strange is not that, because Paul Bettany's also said that he had never worked with this person. He's always wanted to work with this person. Again, I'm not saying that this person that I'm referring to is Doctor Strange. I think it's very possible that this person could be something different, that Doctor Strange could come up. But I think we're going to get a bigger reveal of some sort within the next few episodes. Maybe that's my boy John. It's probably not. I have to stop wishing that, because it's not likely to happen. But who knows? Could be Captain America. Could be, who knows? Could be somebody from the X-Men universe. We could see Magneto.
I don't know, because at the end of it, because at first when he said that Luke Skywalker reveal, was it her brother at the end of episode 5? Everybody's like, maybe that's it.
No.
But then it was like, okay, this opens up the portal to X-Men. But then as episode 6 goes on, it's not the X-Men one, it's the MCU one.
Yeah. I don't know that we've opened up the portal yet necessarily. I think it's certainly possible. I don't know how they're going to tie mutants into it. And I'm still not totally sure about Evan Peters. I don't know if that's just stunt casting or what. I'm not totally convinced. Good news is that we have about 3 hours of content to come over the course of the next 3 weeks. So we're going to learn a lot. But there's a lot to take in. There's a lot to dissect.
Well, back to Doctor Strange, because it's hard for me, not because it's me, but because it's hard to talk about WandaVision and not bring him up because of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
His movie's going to be huge too, because like Mordor, that guy with him in Doctor Strange's movie at the end where he's like, there's too many sorcerers, he's supposed to be a villain. So there's going to be a lot of villains in that. And some report on comicbook.com said Strange already knows. He's the reason why the Hex has stayed where it's at. Like, he's trying to control it from where he's at, trying to figure out what's going on. And now that it's moved, and the reason why I bring that up is because now that the Hex has moved, this is where it ties into him being referenced at some point. He won't. The more this has gone on, the more I don't think you will see Benedict in this. But he's going to be referenced, obviously. Like, he'll be referenced later. Because Wu or them are going to be like, we got to get Doctor... Like, they're going to say something.
Yeah.
And then another thing... I'm going to go all over the place. So
go ahead. It's your show.
I just don't want to see... There's so much talk about... I don't want to see Sword become S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't want to see a repeat of like this place that's supposed to be good and fight crime turn evil, because there's something going on, because Vision's body was torn apart.
Oh, I don't trust Hayward at all.
And you saw that part because that's how he was.
Yeah. And
they're tracking him. And so I don't want to see them become S.H.I.E.L.D. or like some hitting. I don't want to see a repeat story. I think that's my only thing with this right now. Is this a repeat story of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Could be. I think there's something going on with Hayward. I don't think we haven't really learned this yet, but we haven't really learned much about what happened during the blip.
Right.
And I'm wondering if during that time the superheroes may not have been thought of as highly. And I just venture to guess that that's why. I don't know. That's kind of one theory I'm kind of been thinking about. I'm not sure if they're thought of the same way after the blip, which could be why he's so negative towards Wanda. There's obviously something that's happened between Monica and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. I don't know. There's a lot of things out there that we just don't know that are obviously going to play into what happens here. But that's kind of what I've been thinking about lately. I just feel like there's something there that we haven't learned yet.
Yeah, I hope it's just not evil. I understand maybe trying to make, because they were working on Vision. So it was either trying to do the Iron Man thing where we need him to protect us, try that type of thing.
Yeah. It could have to do with mutants. I think that the way they've changed Sword to be called weapons or whatever, I wonder if maybe there's something to do with that. I don't know, but I agree with you. I don't want it to be that either, but I'm just wondering what we're going to learn from that. Because just like with the Star Wars stuff we talked about, there's a lot of shows and movies coming up that there's so much stuff they're going to explore. And we're just going to piece it together little by little with every passing episode and every passing movie.
And then I find it very weird how Vision doesn't remember anything.
He's dead.
But like he's alive in that world. And so his memory, but you would think a computer thing would remember, but Wanda's probably wiped that out.
I don't know what he would remember. The other thing too is the stone is what gave him his life. I don't know where they got the stone. She is powering that, or somebody is powering that.
Well, how are the stones back? They're gone.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what we don't really know yet. But I'm not sure what he's supposed to know, but obviously he doesn't really. He's dead. He's obviously dead. But for some reason, Wanda or whatever being is controlling this hex is able to keep him alive within the space. But he clearly has no memory of anything that happened prior to him entering there. All he knows is that his name is Vision. Wanda's his wife. He has 2 kids, and he lives in this suburbia. That's really about it. And he knows that he's not a human.
They also said those commercials, we all know they're kind of Wanda's.
That commercial was weird.
It was. And that's why I have to look this up, because I don't know. So I have to look it up. There's reports that each one, obviously it's about Wanda's trauma.
Yes.
And so when she talked about being alone, that commercial was kind of hinting towards it, foreshadowing that.
Right.
But they've also kind of pointed out that each one represents an Infinity Stone in some way.
That could be.
So is it building up to where this is going to explode because you're getting closer to Thanos level when you're going through these?
That could be. I don't know.
Are the Infinity Stones going to come back through this multiverse because each one has them?
That's interesting.
Because I'm curious about the Doctor Strange thing, because without the Time Stone, that's what protected them. So without that,
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot still to unpack.
Well, that's what they've said. It referenced the trauma because we've seen Tony Stark on the toaster or Stark Industries. But if you look at it, it's referencing, I guess, apparently almost each stone. Like this last one was the time stone because of how it changed.
Could be. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't seen that theory. I have to look into that.
But then are we not going to see commercials anymore? Because you can't do more than 6 because there's 6 of them. So here at some point they're going to stop.
Right. Well, we didn't get one during episode 4. So that's one more. And I don't know how many of these are actually going to be based on. I don't know how many of these are going to be the shows. Because I think we just had the 90s. I think the next one is probably going to be like a Modern Family 2000s with, the mockumentary style, like The Office or Parks and Rec, that type of thing. I think that's what the next one's going to be. But then after that, you're pretty much caught up. So I don't know. There's 3 episodes left. I don't think they're all 3 going to be based on a sitcom. I think we're about to be done with that. So it could be. I mean, you could just get one more commercial, and who knows? That's possible.
But they bring that up. I'm like, I need to go back and go to YouTube and see if they have them all on there like at one time. Because I'm not going to go back and rewatch them.
Right. You could.
I could. I don't have time now. We have a basketball game Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
You're a busy man.
And then Thursday, I may go to track in the morning, basketball or football, and then basketball. So it's busy. But this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
So here we go.
You asked for it.
I just found the Doctor Strange already knowing about this very curious. And there was proof behind it of how he already knows.
I always think it's weird with these type of shows and these type of movies. Like, if this is this serious, like, where are the other Avengers? Like, if this is really like this serious of a matter with Wanda involved, like, how have they not contacted anybody? Like, I mean, I know that's like the point of the show. Like, it's television, it's a movie, like that's how it works. But like, I mean, if this was like really happening, you would think that somebody would have gotten a phone call.
Well,
whether that's Doctor Strange or whether that's, I don't even know who's leading up the charge right now with the Avengers, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I've always thought that during the movies, like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, like where's Iron Man at?
Yeah.
I've always thought that, like, why are they not there?
You have to look past that part.
I know, but then I remembered he went back to Malibu because of Iron Man 3, right?
Yeah. Well, and you have to think right now, I mean, at this point in time within the MCU, Tony Stark is dead. Captain America is now old. He's not going to be involved. Thor is out chasing who knows what with the Guardians. We don't know where Captain Marvel is. So, I mean, I don't really know who's other than, Doctor Strange. I'm not really sure who else is going to come save the day unless it's Reed Richards. Just saying, it'd be a perfect opportunity to have a little mockumentary style TV show and then have a little John Krasinski button at the end of a clip. I'm just saying, it'd be too perfect. I gotta stop. I'm getting as bad as you.
Join. Just come on. It's fun.
Anyway,
because remember, there's that preview where it shows that truck driving into the Hex. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
What if that's old Johnny driving it, and when he gets in there, it turns into the Office style, and it shows him sitting there in a suit and tie.
I also think it's funny that Kat Dennings just entered in the Hex, and Kat Dennings is known for being in a TV sitcom during the 2000s. So maybe Kat Dennings is going to be in a waitress outfit, just like her Two Broke Girls character. And then John Krasinski could enter in just a shirt and tie, just being like, And
then Steve Carell shows up. Steve Carell is the thing we're waiting for right now.
Okay. Calm down. No, but seriously, whoever this person is that Monica has been talking to, this aerospace engineer. That person is definitely showing up this next episode. So
Is that who they're going to meet right now?
I think so. It could be Reed Richards. It could be Rocket Raccoon, I believe, is a candidate. Because he's technically an engineer.
That would be mind blowing.
There's another Captain Marvel character, I believe, that would be a candidate. I've also read or heard that it, according to some sort of subtitle, that it might be a female. But I also thought I heard her say in the last episode reference the guy as a man. So I don't know. We have a lot of options. I know where my wish is at, but I'm not necessarily putting money on it.
Was it a year or two ago before COVID he talked to Feige about?
Oh yeah, there's definitely been talks about him being involved in something. Everybody wants to be part of the MCU, though. Everybody,
right? But I think it was reported he walked out of, or he went there to.
That's the top fan casting candidate for the Fantastic Four is John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I mean, that's just what everybody wants.
Could this hex create the Fantastic Four?
I think it's creating mutants for sure. I don't know that it's necessarily creating the Fantastic Four, possibly. But I think that's what they talked about at that lab in episode 6 when Monica went back and forth. It's altering her genes. And I think that might be a way that they decide to introduce mutants into the MCU. Although they kind of have already with Quicksilver, but no, he wasn't. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing.
That's why, the way his character acted, they said they've kind of abandoned the X-Men thing coming from a different universe.
Yeah.
So maybe they are going to bring X-Men in, just not from another universe. Maybe this hex creates the X-Men in this universe.
Maybe they're going to introduce the Power Rangers.
I would love that.
Me too.
I want to see the Green Ranger pop up.
It's morphin' time, y'all.
The 2 kids are going to start the Power Rangers. And then we see Zordon.
I love it. I love it. Bring in Bryan Cranston to be the movie Zordon.
Yes. Take a break from making meth.
I think he's already taken a break from that. Although he should have been in the Malcolm in the Middle episode, so I guess we've already missed that opportunity.
Could we see a Family Guy episode when they jump from
universe to universe? I love the idea of an animated episode. I think that'd be hysterical because I mean, obviously, animated sitcoms, The Simpsons and Family Guy have been just as important to the world of sitcoms as anything else. I don't think it's realistic to expect that, but I think it'd be funny if it was just like a one-off episode in the middle of this 9-episode series where we just got a animated version of WandaVision, but that'd be funny.
And there's some big battle coming up because we haven't seen where Vision says, let's fight for it.
Yeah. And there's something happening. Don't you worry. As I said, you got 3+ hours of content to come.
Well, because Vision probably got mad because they weren't helping him, and he's going to remember that.
3 hours is longer than any other Marvel movie. So
I just don't want it to be slow. I know it's a lot.
We got a lot to happen. So you're going to see some characters that you haven't seen before. You're probably at least going to see one character that you're familiar with from other movies that's going to show up. And it's going to end with probably very little resolution, and all it's doing is setting up another movie.
That we're not going to get for a year.
Yeah. Who knows?
But we'll have Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I think there's 1 week in between. If I did that math right, I think that 3 more episodes of WandaVision, and then I think the 12th would be an off week, and then the 19th is when Falcon and Winter Soldier starts.
Oh, that's our
and then you're supposed to get Black Widow in May, but I don't think that's happening.
Kevin Feige is fighting it.
I've said it several times on here and on Twitter and to other people. I think a hybrid release is inevitable. I know they're trying really hard to not take it to Disney Plus, and I respect the hell out of them for that. And my biggest thing with it has been, obviously, as somebody that's not in the know, I found it hard to believe that they can put out 2 of these TV shows before they released Black Widow, because I assumed that there was going to be something in Black Widow that we learned that would be a spoiler, or something that we would learn in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that would be a spoiler for Black Widow, but apparently not. So if that's the case, if there's really no issue with it, then yeah, push it back to whenever. But it's not happening in May. It's just not. If it happens in May, it's going to be a simultaneous theatrical and Disney Plus $30 premiere access.
Thank God sports started, because I'll take $30 out of my stipend to.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Because how long is
a lot of movies? So
how long is Falcon the Winter Soldier? How many episodes is that?
I would assume it's about the same as WandaVision. I don't know. I haven't seen.
Because last time we talked, I thought maybe the way the episodes come out, by the time Black Widow comes out, maybe we don't need to know yet.
Maybe it's possible. Obviously, they know what they're doing when it comes to that schedule. I guess we'll really find out when they ultimately decide what to do with Black Widow. Because if they only push it back like a month, maybe. But I don't know that that's really going to be any better. I don't really know where we're going to be at by May 7th or even June 7th. So I don't know.
Or they changed it because they were still filming Falcon the Winter Soldier a while ago. So maybe they changed it to where...
Yeah, and they could edit something so that it, they have the ability to do that stuff.
Or is it going to be just flip-flopped where, like, we're going to see some Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then when we watch Black Widow, we're going to be like, oh, that's where that came from. Maybe that's what it is.
Is it just me, or have you been disappointed that there's been no post-credits scenes in WandaVision?
And you think there would be.
Yeah. I'd seen something that said that there might be one, but I watch every episode till the end.
It's going to be Doctor Strange's feet.
God damn it, Steve.
Or the portal. We're going to see the portal. Or we're going to see Johnny standing there.
Okay. Calm yourself.
Well, now you got me on him being in there.
Great. We'll get there. You got 3 weeks.
Or Johnny Woo. I don't know. Maybe he becomes Fantastic Four. I have no idea.
That could be. Could be.
Because they haven't filmed Fantastic Four yet, right? That's not supposed to be out for a while.
They haven't even casted it. All they've announced is a director. But for a fact, if you saw John Krasinski's face show up in the show, everybody will automatically know that that's who that is, because it's just been so much overblown that it probably won't be. They'll probably cast somebody else to do it, and everybody will just be sad. Well, maybe unless just me. I don't know.
Unless it's some actor that is just fantastic.
Listen, I'm fine with whatever they do. I have all the trust in the world in Marvel right now, so will I be sad if it's somebody else? Absolutely. But does that mean I'm going to be mad about it? No. I'm not.
I told Brad, I kind of wished, yes, I wish it was Benedict Cumberbatch standing there when the door knocked, but I kind of wish when she opened it, it's Ryan Reynolds standing there. I was really hoping that he's standing there, and then when he gets out of the hex, he's Deadpool. He's like, wait, what?
That'd be funny. Could be.
Or like The Rock, but it's not going to happen.
Stop.
Or John Cena, but he's in DC.
So is The Rock.
Or Mark Wahlberg. Let's get Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that's a new one. What if it was David Harbour?
He's already there. We're delaying it. He's
probably dead.
He's probably dead.
Probably dead by the time we get to WandaVision.
Damn it, David Harbour. It could be. We don't know. Maybe he's alive. Who knows? He's in Russia.
We don't know. We have no idea.
The only other news I saw about Marvel was there was a picture leaked of Thor on set filming Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yep.
They said Chris Hemsworth has never been bigger. He's bigger than he ever has.
Yep.
He has the comic book look because he has the Guardians of the Galaxy vest. That's the other thing I'm confused about. Now we're going to go way off. Shouldn't Guardians of the Galaxy 3 come out before Thor: Love and Thunder because he left with Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't know that necessarily has to happen.
Because Chris Pratt and them are filming for Thor, but I think they're done already. So they have a small part.
I don't know. They haven't done Guardians 3, though.
No, but in my mind, I'm like, why would you do a Thor movie when he should be with them because he left with them? So why are you doing a Thor movie? That means he has to leave.
They're in it. No, they're in it.
Yeah, but they're not playing big roles. I think they're already done filming their parts.
Well, I mean, they're still going to be in the movie.
Right. I don't know. In my mind, it should have been Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then something happens where Thor leaves, and then you have the Thor movie.
Couldn't because James Gunn was doing Suicide Squad.
Oh.
So even if that's what they wanted to do, they couldn't because James Gunn was fired from Marvel for his tweets from 7 years ago or whatever.
Oh.
And DC picked him up and he wrote and directed the new Suicide Squad, which was supposed to come out last year. And then Marvel hired him back again. So they couldn't do that in that order because he was busy with. So they were able to do Thor, and they're in Thor. I don't know how much. I mean, I don't know if it's small roles or what, but
Chris Pratt is still over there. I think.
I'm sure.
They reported. But they want him fired. The world wants him fired.
I'm so over this.
Like, we don't have to dive deep into it, but they've wanted him fired for months, and it keeps getting brought back up. When they showed the picture of him there filming, it was like, get rid of him. Why is he still in Marvel? He was perfect for that role.
People just want something to talk about.
They're going to watch the movie regardless.
I know. I'm not even going to get into that.
And then what's the other movie that's been filmed that we're waiting on? The Externals?
Eternals.
Eternals.
We were supposed to get Black Widow and Eternals last year.
They're delaying that too. There's no word on that.
And we were supposed to get Shang-Chi just a couple days ago.
And Doctor
so
Strange.
yeah, and then Spider-Man. I don't remember the order.
Did you see Tom Holland say that Tobey Maguire and them are not in the movie? He goes, that'd be the biggest hide.
I think if he's telling the truth, I think they are hiding it from him because he can't keep his mouth shut. So they're in the movie. I don't know how much they're in the movie. It's very possible that it's a very small cameo, but they're in the movie. There's not a doubt.
I'm so confused because WandaVision's not supposed to lead into Spider-Man.
WandaVision takes place before Spider-Man.
It's taking place before Spider-Man Far From Home even, right? This is like 3 weeks after.
Yes, WandaVision takes place just a couple weeks after the blip. And Far From Home is supposed to take place a little further down the road.
Oh, so maybe it does. Maybe WandaVision does have something to do with Spider-Man.
Well, the thing that I keep thinking about that nobody's really brought up is you haven't seen Far From Home, have you?
No.
Okay. Well, there's something that happens at the end of Far From Home makes me think that was the thing that opened up I don't know. We'll get into that after you've seen that movie, but it's not a major thing, but it's definitely, in my opinion, worth noting, but we'll see.
I might rent it today.
Let me know.
I think it's on Amazon Prime, but I have to rent it or something.
Yeah, it's only rentable. I think it might be on Stars or something is like the only place you can actually stream it.
But maybe it does.
I don't know.
Because it's coming out at the end of the year, right?
Supposed to.
Now that's another question. Is it going to be delayed too because they want to put it in the freaking theater?
I don't know. The fact that Sony's in charge of that one makes me think they'll call the shots when they release their movie. But obviously, if it has implications with the rest of the universe, then they can only do what they can do. But just give me Black Widow, man. I'm ready to move on.
I want to see it so bad, but then the more this goes on, the more I'm like, you know what? WandaVision's taken over. Like, it's more like,
Oh yeah,
and then Falcon the Winter Soldier, they've already said it's supposed to be like the bloodiest like action.
bring it on. Bring it on. Did Michigan lose?
No, they won.
Oh, dang. I tried to turn it on my computer, but it was lagging, probably because of our stream.
Oh, Brad and
That's a
Nathan are
shame.
texting me. Brad and Nathan were texting the whole time. I just kept looking over, seeing how soft Michigan is.
Uh-huh.
And then they sent a picture of Michigan fouling a player and it wasn't called. Like, they're all about it. That's why they work for me. They're all about it.
Good stuff, man.
And then
Good stuff.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm starting to research that. I'm not as interested as like WandaVision right now. But they said that the mask he wears looks like Thanos, and he does that on purpose, the villain. And then they asked, how did he escape? Because at the end of Civil War, he's locked up, and they said the blimp. That's what caused it.
Could be. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of it.
I predict we'll see Chris Evans at some point in there.
Very possible.
And then I don't know who the new Captain America is. You see that shield all over the place.
Yeah. I don't know. Lots to be determined.
One thing you said, I know you probably want to be done soon. The one thing you said that I didn't think about was, do they not look at the Avengers like they used to because of Thanos?
Yeah. And we haven't really seen it yet. But I'm kind of getting that idea that might be the case. But I don't know. It's possible.
And I'm curious because Westview is an actual place in WandaVision, but you've seen like the police officer say this is not on the map. We don't know what this is. Is that why no Avenger knows what's going on? Because there's something going on?
Yeah.
Could be. Could we see Samuel L. Jackson show up?
Look at you, your theorizing brain.
I mean, you got 3 hours worth. He's supposed to know everything.
Got a lot of content to come.
Maybe he'll show up. Sword, you're doing it wrong. Look at what S.H.I.E.L.D. did. Look what happened. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Could he show up? I don't know.
We'll see.
Could that kid from Iron Man 3 that was at the funeral show up?
Okay. Calm down. Whatever. I guess we'll have to do this again in a couple weeks, huh?
If it's big enough, if the episodes are big enough.
I'm sure they will be.
Because who would Paul Bettany want to work with? That's what I keep telling myself. Like, who is somebody I think of it who's already in Marvel?
The only Avenger that he hasn't worked with is Doctor Strange. So I think it's very possible that he could be referencing Benedict Cumberbatch. But again, that wouldn't really be a big surprise appearance for me. But I mean, whatever.
Could we get a Christmas episode and see Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch on the TV in the background?
You're getting a Christmas Guardians of the Galaxy special.
Oh, yes. And
maybe the Grinch will appear in that.
I just want to see Benedict Cumberbatch's Grinch in the background, like on TV. Okay. And that's how he's in the movie.
Sure.
Because there's a tie-in. I am telling you, he showed up to that virtual red carpet thing for WandaVision.
So did Loki.
Maybe he is. Oh, that's another one that's coming out. And they already got season 2. Connected. It's season 2 already. How is that going to tie into where we're at now?
I don't know.
I want to see a Loki Doctor Strange showdown. Because they were going to fight there in Ragnarok there for a second.
Yeah.
A
That'd be fun.
sorcerer and a wizard.
That'd be fun.
And maybe he comes to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And that's how he comes back.
You need to just make a list of all your theories.
I got some good ones. That's why I'm proud of it.
I'm proud of you.
But there's going to be so many villains, though, in his movie. Bless you. There's so many villains.
Excuse me.
That I can't keep up.
Got a lot of research to do.
Because people forget he has the Mordor or whatever from his first movie.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be there. You have Dormammu from the first one. You no longer have the Time Stone. He's going to pop back in.
I've come to bargain.
I've come to bargain a million times. You're going to have Nightmare show up. Is Wanda going to be a villain?
Well,
maybe Doctor Strange. Maybe
Oh
Doctor Strange takes Vision. And that's what pisses Wanda off.
You have a lot of ideas. I love it.
I need to write them. I need to go make a movie. Benedict Cumberbatch.
You do that.
I think it's because my favorite movie of his is Imitation Game.
It's such a weird choice, but okay.
Like his acting. And then he just did a miniseries for one season. It's on Amazon Prime. What was it called? He's a drug addict.
I don't remember.
It's a book. We can't stop the podcast till I find it. That's great acting. You want to find some great acting from him, is that. Like to be a drug addict and like find out he had abusive childhood. Well, then of course he was in Star Trek. He was Khan.
Yep.
What was it called? He was in 1917?
He was.
Patrick Melrose. It's 5 episodes. It makes you uncomfortable because the drug use is so realistic. But the acting from him is so incredible that it just blows me away.
Right.
It's only a miniseries based on a book in England or the UK. But it's great. It's on par with his acting in Sherlock. Like it's very good.
Good stuff.
Better than Doctor Strange acting with the voice. Like he has to. Like it's just so good. So I recommend that to people. Go on Amazon Prime. It's there for free.
I'll have to take a look.
I had to watch it within 2 days. I watched 3 episodes one day and 2 the next. That's how good it was.
Proud of you.
I need to stop talking about Doctor Strange. We know what's going to happen. I just got to wait. I'm now on board with Johnny being Fantastic Four.
I wouldn't get too excited about it.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I brought up your expectations, but we probably need to lower them.
I just don't know who they're going to bring. Are they going to bring in the original guy from way back when?
Well, I've seen a theory that it'll be Chris Evans showing up as Johnny Storm because he is in the first Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm.
So
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of
that would work if you're
out there.
That's going to work if you're in a different universe.
Well, we've already brought in Evan Peters, so
but
why not?
He may not even be the X-Men.
He may not be that either. Who knows? Just saying, there's the opportunities out there.
How did Fantastic Four get their powers? That's been so long since I've seen those movies.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Because what started the Marvel, not the MCU, but the Marvel, was it Spider-Man or Fantastic Four?
Spider-Man was first.
Because then why?
I mean, they've been trying to do superhero movies for a long time.
Well, Feige was like what started it all. Fantastic Four.
That was Feige's first.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But the Sony Spider-Man movies took place before that.
Okay, well, that's what I thought. Then
at least the first one did. I think. I'd have to look back, but I think so.
See, that's what I thought. But then you had X-Men way back when they were Marvel.
Yeah.
Could we see Hugh Jackman
I wouldn't rule it out.
I mean, I know he's done.
He's never done.
Those are ones I have to catch back. I was going to try to catch back up on all the X-Men. It's been so long.
There's a lot out there. There's some bad ones in there. There's some good ones, but there's a lot of bad.
Well, the reason why I said that is because some of the newer ones are on Disney Plus. So it's like, are they on there for a reason?
No, because Disney owns Fox.
Well, I'm saying, like, it's right there. Is Marvel trying to tell me something?
No.
I'm thinking too much into this.
Yes.
But I had a lot of time with COVID, so I had a lot of time to sit there.
I'm glad that your brain's still functioning.
It did not function at first.
Well, I'm glad it's functioning now.
We tested positive on that Friday. That Sunday, Brad and Nathan still wanted to do the podcast, and I was like, no, you know what? I'll do it. It was so bad. I was terrible. 3 hours worth, and like they would say things, and it didn't process.
Yeah.
I had the fog. And then
fog is real.
I went to bed right after. Taking Hazel out felt like I was working out for 8 hours. Oh, I don't recommend it, people listening. I don't recommend. I miss the smell of food, and how I knew that was gone was coffee was made. Never knew.
Yeah.
So I drank black coffee. Couldn't tell. Took a bite of a lemon. You don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eating pizza, you can't taste it. Wings, I couldn't tell. Not one thing. Super Bowl wings? No, don't know.
Did you ever get them?
Yeah, she could leave the house. Technically, that was her last.
But I thought Wingstop was taking too long to get you your food.
Oh, we got it, but I missed 8 wings. They didn't give us a box.
Oh.
Oh, I was not happy. Was not happy.
That's what happens when you try to order food on Super Bowl Sunday.
But I ordered it
during a pandemic.
I ordered it 2 hours ahead of time.
I had an incident with Texas Roadhouse a few weeks ago, similar to that. Except I went to pick it up. It wasn't a delivery issue.
She went to go pick it up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I had an issue with Texas Roadhouse.
It wasn't even we didn't get delivery because when you go to the website, there was no delivery.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of screwed them, I think.
Right.
There was someone that was there that said they ordered their food at noon to be picked up at 5. We were supposed to pick it up at 5:30. That person was still there.
Yeah.
I was not a happy camper. But it didn't matter. I couldn't taste them.
Yeah.
So all I had to do was sit there and theorize about WandaVision.
I'm glad.
And I just want to be right. And so when I'm right, I can send comicbook.com a resume and say, look at this. I know what I'm doing.
Good luck to you.
Pay me $40,000 a year just to write. And then I'll go coach and make another 20. Especially at these big schools.
Yeah.
We have 5 basketball courts, for God's sakes.
It's a lot.
And a swimming pool. And badminton. I wish we had badminton in high school. I would have done that.
We did it in PE.
But like a competitive, we did start the handball club.
Yeah.
Because our class was the best.
All right. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, I was like, did I miss anything? Is there any other theorized?
Nah. I think we covered all of it.
I think Doctor Strange knows.
I know. He has to know. There's no way he doesn't.
Is Wanda in Spider-Man?
No.
Okay. That's strange.
At least not in Far From Home. And I don't think, I don't know. I haven't heard that she's in the new one. But I don't think she is.
So Daredevil is in Spider-Man. That's confirmed. Benedict will be in there. That's confirmed. When you look up the new Doctor Strange movie on that IMDb or whatever, it shows Tobey Maguire's name in the casting. And Doctor Strange.
It's all rumored. They don't have any verification on that.
Well, I just thought it was funny. It's not even Benedict Cumberbatch first. It's him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Wanda, and it shows the doctor. Oh, they took him off. I swear on my mom's life they had him on there. Now I'm looking it up. It's gone. Son of a gun. As long as Wong's in it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And then I tried to watch all the Marvel movies during COVID, and I only made it to Guardians 2.
Got a lot of work to do.
Well, because I'm watching it to pick up on little things that are going to happen. There's a lot of stuff missing.
Oh yeah, I know.
Can we see Chris Pratt's dad again? Please.
No.
As Santa Claus.
No. Christmas Chronicles 3.
God, what's his name? I'm such an idiot. It's the fog.
Kurt Russell.
Can we just see Kurt Russell again?
Maybe. Never know.
All right, did we miss any theories?
I don't think so, man.
I don't think we'll get X-Men through the multiverse. I think they're just going to create their own. Now that you've brought that up, that's a good thought.
Yeah.
And then what's her name off of Two Broke Girls?
Kat Dennings.
I was so mad that they just left her. I was screaming at the TV because she's one of my favorite characters.
She's great.
So is she going to be in Thor 2?
I have no idea. I haven't seen that.
And you're right. Where is... Real quick, before we sign off, I'm stalling because I love this. I keep talking to myself about this stuff. So what Avengers are left on Earth that are capable? Like we said, Captain America, he's old.
I mean, what do you mean by capable?
Like, to go figure out what's going on. Like you said, like the only person left on Earth is Doctor Strange. Everybody's gone.
There's other Avengers that are around, but it's like, are Falcon and Bucky really going to be involved in that?
But like they wouldn't know
Peter
about
Parker going to be involved in that? Like,
well, I mean, like that's capable of figuring out what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much only Doctor Strange.
Because
maybe Banner.
He's going to be done too. I know he's getting that Hulk movie, but he might be.
I don't think there's going to be a Hulk movie.
Or She-Hulk, sorry.
She-Hulk, which he'll be involved in, but it's about a different character.
I kind of wish he had his own movie. I like him as the Hulk. I kind of wish.
I don't think he can carry him. I don't think the Hulk can carry a movie. They've done it twice, and I just don't think it really worked either time.
Well, I kind of wish it was like, make it like Captain America Civil War. Make it where like it's his movie, but you have the other characters there to help.
Yeah, I mean, Ragnarok was almost just as much his as it was Thor's.
Argument. Were you on there when me and Nathan and Brad talked about Marvel?
I caught the very end of it. I walked out of the room for something, and then I came back and I heard you guys talking about it, but I didn't catch the whole thing.
Oh, that's their favorite movie is Thor Ragnarok, and
I love Ragnarok.
I had to tell them how I didn't like it at first, and they said, "Shut your mouth." And I was like,
I love Ragnarok.
I do now, but the first time I watched it.
That's fair. Cameron's going through and watching all of them because he was never really into them. He texted me the other day and said he absolutely hated the first Avengers, which I thought was an interesting take because I haven't heard very many people that didn't like that movie.
I love that movie.
That's the one that really got me into all of them. I mean, prior to Avengers, I had seen the first Iron Man, but I hadn't seen any of the others. So I remember when that came out, and from then on, I've been hooked. So, but yeah, he's going through and he said he just didn't, for whatever reason, just did not really like that movie, which
maybe the fight scene took too long. I don't know.
I think it's the best of the first 6 movies, but I don't know. Everybody's got their own opinion. But yeah, I love Ragnarok. Allison hated Ragnarok.
The only negative thing I've seen about the Avengers is when the war's happening, they said that took too long. It was just too drawn out, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I loved it. I have no negative things to say about Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought of another theory. Here you go. James Spader's coming back.
No, he's not.
As Ultron.
No, he's not.
And that's what they were doing with Vision. They were trying to mess with Vision's body.
That doesn't happen. They should know better. They should know better than to bring back anything to do with Age of
Well,
Ultron.
they said that Vision, where it showed Wanda taking Vision's body, which we're supposed to see. We're supposed to see that happen, like the actual
Right.
what they said that's straight from the comic book.
Yeah.
That Vision's going to be alive. It's going to be a different version. That's what they're doing. So maybe he comes back, which I don't know if I like that either.
Yeah.
I like it right now because we all know he's really dead. But if they do bring him back, even though it's different, I don't know if I like that.
Right.
Kind of like Iron Man. A part of me wants him back so bad, but then you take away that moment of like how bad it was. Like you can't do that. Even in the multiverse. Even the multiverse. If you go to a different world and he's Robert Downey Jr.'s there, that's still like you open it up to just be like, oh, let's take him and bring him to ours.
Yeah. I feel you.
That was my last theory. But again, I'm a James Spader.
I know. James Spader, The Rock, Benedict Cumberbatch, David Harbour.
Well, go watch Boston Legal with James Spader.
I'm good.
It's
I'm
great.
good.
It's great.
I'm good. I got a piece, though.
Him and William Shatner. Perfect.
Great.
All right. Another Geek Corner done. Thanks, everybody.